On today's show, spring break celebrations in Santa Barbara take a turn for the worse.
Also, we'll break down Cal State Fullerton's Student Success Initiative and show you exactly what students will be paying for. All this and more, OC's News starts now.
Hello and welcome to OC News. I'm Brittany Payton.
And I'm Sean Sarabian. OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students of Cal State Fullerton.
Spring break at UC Santa Barbara turned violent this weekend as riots prompted police intervention. Around 100 people were arrested and dozens were injured during the social event known as Deltopia. The incident broke out in the 6700 block of Del Playa Drive, where at least 15,000 people were in attendance. Police used tear gas and pepper spray in an attempt to control the crowds. The incident began when a local officer was struck by a backpack containing bottles of alcohol. When authorities started making arrests, several people began throwing bottles, ripping down stop signs, and setting small fires. 6 law enforcement officials were injured, and around 44 individuals were hospitalized.
The student initiative fee was passed earlier this month, making way for higher student fees. Rebecca Penner has the latest on what students' money will be going towards.
Cal State Fullerton is raising its student fees in an effort to increase academic success and achievement. The Student Success Initiative was proposed in the beginning of the spring 2014 semester and was recently approved by Chancellor Timothy P. White. The fee will take into effect during the 2014 fall semester and will begin with students paying $60.33 in additional fees during the 2014 and 2015 academic year. The fee will be phased in over the next 3 years, and by 2016 will cost approximately $181. The Student Fee Committee finalized the proposal earlier this month, bringing down the original fee from $240.50.
I think it's great and it benefits all students on campus. As I expected, the price would go high, but it didn't go as high as I thought it would, so it's actually great for me.
Most notably changed in the approved package was the amount of money that will be allocated to athletic programs at CSUF. An initial proposed $72 was lowered to $30 based on student feedback and will benefit athletic facilities on campus and the Titan Student Centers.
I'm not a fan of it, honestly. I thought that it was a good program and that it was going to a bunch of different aspects and also going to help out athletics, and now that there's a huge drop, I don't think it's going to help as much as it was going to, so I don't really like that.
The portions of the fee that were related to learning communities such as the Career Center, athletic support, disability services, and expanded technology assistance on campus were decreased by only a few dollars from the original proposal. The 2 portions of the fee that were unchanged were support for academic achievement, which includes the expansion of academic advising and course offerings, and the improvement of instructional experience, which will update instructional software and classroom technology. Cal State Fullerton student fees are currently the 3rd lowest in the CSU system. I'm Rebecca Penner for OC News.
A lot of Facebook users like to use this social media site to vent their feelings. Fort Hood gunman did just that. And U.S. Navy captain is also sharing his thoughts on the possible detection of missing Malaysia Flight 370. Denise Salcedo has more in this for World News.
Hello everybody. U.S. Navy Captain Mark Matthews argues that people shouldn't jump to conclusions about the pieces detected in the ocean until it is declared that it is the aircraft. Here's the video.
What I'd like to do before I absolutely say with certainty that it is the aircraft is 1, reacquire the signal, 2, deploy the autonomous underwater vehicle with the side scan sonar to map the debris field, and then 3, switch out that sonar with a camera unit and take photographs of what would be the wreckage. But certainly, you know, we're jumping to conclusions here. We need to definitely reacquire the signal to confirm that it is the aircraft.
Situation, Fort Hood gunman used Facebook to vent his feelings about the Sandy Hook Elementary School shootings. CNN's Ed Lavandera has more on this story.
Specialist Yvonne Lopez took to Facebook to vent about a range of subjects. In early March, around the time he purchased the .45 caliber handgun he eventually used in the attack, he posted, quote, "My spiritual peace has just gone," and wrote that he was full of hate after allegedly being robbed. Perhaps the most chilling is what the Iraq War veteran posted about Adam Lanza, the 20-year-old gunman of the Sandy Hook Elementary School massacre. "It is stupid to me," he wrote, "that anyone can have easy access to a powerful weapon without being mentally evaluated."
Most of these mass shootings that you have individuals who are very multidimensional. They have mental health issues, but they're not debilitated by them. I mean, they can actually function.
Fort Hood officials say Lopez was being treated for mental health issues, including depression, anxiety, and possibly PTSD. Doctors prescribed the 34-year-old Ambien and antidepressants.
He was seen just last month by a psychiatrist. We had no indication on the record of that examination that there was any sign of likely violence.
The most significant clue may be what transpired moments before Lopez opened fire. That afternoon, he stopped by the Post Human Resources office to request a temporary leave form. Jonathan Westbrook was a soldier manning the office. His father says that Lopez was told he'd have to come back later. Then Lopez snapped, coming back and opening fire, shooting Westbrook 4 times.
The first guy he shot right in front of my son was killed. And then he turned the gun towards Jonathan, aimed it, and fired.
Exciting news in New Zealand. The royal baby, along with its royal parents, made their visit. CNN's Max Foster has more on their arrival.
2 future kings and a queen fly into Wellington, New Zealand from the other side of the planet. And no doubt about who's the star of the show.
Well, he can't even walk yet, but these are Prince George's first tentative steps into a lifetime of public duties. His arrival here in New Zealand marks the start of his first official engagement.
The baby prince wasn't fazed, a natural in front of the cameras. He and his glamorous mother are the monarchy's not-so-secret weapons against a strong Republican movement in this part of the world. At Government House in Wellington, an official welcome. George left inside with his nanny. The Duchess has never been to New Zealand or Australia before. The palace says she wants to meet as many people as possible during her visit. It is the start of a momentous month for the world's most famous young family. Max Foster, CNN, Wellington, New Zealand.
That's all for me today. Thank you, everybody, and back to you guys.
For the latest on the measles outbreak, covered California enrollment results, and more, Yahaira Perez is here with health news.
Orange County has confirmed 21 cases of the measles, the most reported in California this year, according to the Orange County Health Agency. The measles outbreak has spread across the nation to New York and Texas as well. 5 of the 21 cases reported in California are children who were not immunized. The healthcare agency is urging the public to get vaccinated, especially children, healthcare workers, adolescents, and people planning foreign travel. Measles is a contagious and potentially severe disease that causes fever, rash, cough, and red and watery eyes. Anyone suspecting they have the measles should call their medical provider before arriving to the medical office to avoid exposing others to the measles virus. A list of free and low-cost vaccinations is available on the healthcare agency website. The Covered California website received a surge of applicants this past week. The website experienced some glitches, but if you started the application process before March 31st deadline, you have until April 15th to complete it. 1.2 million Americans opened accounts on the website, helping surpass the Obama administration's goal of 7 million for the entire nation. However, officials cited penalties for the increase of applicants. According to the Affordable Care Act, it requires most Americans to have health care insurance in 2014 or pay a penalty of $95 per adult or 1% of their adjusted gross income, whichever is greater. Those penalties may increase in future years. A North Carolina teen dreams seeing the Final Four live is just hours away from becoming a reality. Tina Terry explains how people across the country work to make the 13-year-old cancer fighter's dream come true.
Thank you, sir. Good luck.
When Matthew Bailey boarded a plane to head to the Final Four today, he fulfilled one of his top 10 biggest dreams of all time.
Meet Johnny Manziel, meet Tim Tebow, play horse with Michael Jordan, play a pickup game with Kevin Durant.
We first told you about Matthew's top 10 list earlier this week. His pastor encouraged the 13-year-old to create a list as a way to take his mind off of an aggressive treatment he's undergoing to battle brain cancer.
He just wanted to make a wish list to put on the church website, just a fun thing to do, I guess.
The post has spurred a social media movement. Hundreds of Twitter and Facebook users have sent messages of support to Bailey, and recently a family friend stepped forward offering free tickets to the Final Four.
We didn't think we were going to go at first because I'm sick, and we thought there's no way the doctor's going to let us go. Well, the doctors were all for it, and then U.S. Airways paid for our tickets to fly down to Dallas, and everything was taken care of.
It's just amazing how people rally around and have really helped to keep his spirits up.
Matthew says he's grateful too, but he also wants the community to remember other kids who are also battling cancer, fighting to live.
Pray for other people who are doing the same stuff as I do, because we go down there to where I have to do my treatment, and there's people that need help, just need the prayers more than I do. So just help them, pray for them.
In Ardell County, Tina Terry, Channel 9 Eyewitness News.
That is all for health. Back to you.
Popularity in Woodfired Pizza has grown recently in Orange County, but a new business in Santa Ana is putting its own unique spin on the trend. Jen Moynihan has the story.
Around 93% of Americans eat at least one slice of pizza per month, but instead of having to eat out, a new Orange County business has created a way to make your favorite wood-fired pizzas at home. I'm standing here at Baker Stone's headquarters in Santa Ana, where I had a chance to talk to the owner, Tim Case, about his new invention.
So standard pizza stone is going to cook the bottom of your pizza really well, but what this does is it actually allows you to cook the bottom, sides, and top of whatever you're baking, start to finish, and it doesn't just crisp up the bottom and then the top is all watery or not melted.
The product Case is referring to is the Pizza Oven Box, which cooks wood-fired pizzas at home in half the time.
What it does is it traps all the heat that your grill produces and it stores it in the stone material. So it radiates all the heat back to the food that you're baking and cooks it much quicker and efficiently. Also has convective air that comes in through the back and then helps to crisp up the outside of the food.
The user simply has to set the insulated steel box over his or her grill, and in 2 to 4 minutes, your pizza will be ready. Though in order to gain enough funds to build the business, Case created a profile on Kickstarter.com. Within a few months, Baker Stone received 224 backers for the project, who pledged roughly $27,000. This figure was $2,500 more than Baker Stone's original goal. Baker Stone now has a line of products on their website, including the Pizza Oven Box and a complete set of cooking utensils. Customers looking to try out the products can head to their local Bed Bath & Beyond, as well as Costco within the next few months. From Santa Ana, I'm Jen Moynihan reporting.
When we return from break, we'll take a look at the group of kids who got an exciting history lesson at Angel Stadium.
Also, stay tuned for the latest on sports and a game of Tetris that's reaching new heights. This and more after the break.
Honey, the credit fairy doesn't exist.
What?
It's make-believe. Nobody left anything under your pillow.
If there's no credit fairy, then we'll make our credit score go up.
We will, by doing things like paying our bills on time.
There's no magic to improving your credit, but there's help, and it's free. Go to creditfairy.org.
I really want to show you something.
Did you play today? For great play ideas, visit www.smallstep.gov.
It's often hard to get kids excited about learning, specifically history. Finding ways to make it exciting can make them want to listen. I got the chance to head down to Angel Stadium and see thousands of kids having fun and learning together.
I'm Rob Richardson. I'm Vice President of the Board of Education, and today we're at Anaheim Stadium here in Anaheim for the Gift of OC History event, and we have thousands of students from across Orange County that are in the stadium today. They're going to be learning about Orange County history. I've never seen so many excited people in the ballpark, at least not since baseball season anyhow.
Students from across the county filled the stadium and prepared to be entertained by things like cheers and playing Orange County trivia. Even a helicopter landed on the field to show the history of flying. Kids were in awe.
I've never been to the Angel Stadium and this is my first time. That's why I'm so excited.
I got to watch fun stuff.
We learned history.
I learned a lot about the OC, how it has changed and how it's gonna be later. In Huntington Beach, there was a bunch of oil.
In the 3rd grade, students participate in their very first type of research. It's called History Day. This event at the stadium was to get them to start thinking of everything having a past, and it was made fun by using objects and places that they already know, like Disneyland. It has a history too. Even Henry Ford rolled up to show off some of the very first automobiles.
My name is Henry Ford, and I'm here today to help everyone out with the report you guys are working on.
Wow, how come you look so young? Didn't you invent that car like 100 years ago?
It's going to be a great day. I'm really looking forward to it. It's just a big giant history lesson, which is, as a former teacher, is fun. Whenever you can bring history alive and really kind of get the kids into it and kind of build that enthusiasm and excitement, it's just fun to be a part of that.
We want to have them learn about Orange County when they're young so that they will be grounded in where they live and be proud of where they're growing up.
Overall, after talking to kids and adults both, they all seem to agree that learning is fun when you want it to be, and a stadium for a classroom did just that. I'm Brittany Payton, reporting from Anaheim.
For the latest on our Titan teams, Chris Collins is here with sports news.
Cal State Fullerton Athletics had a good weekend as the baseball team won their weekend series as they started Big West Conference play. The baseball team, now ranked number 17 nationally, dropped the series opener to UC Davis on Friday 3-1 as the team struggled to hit on the ESPN3 televised game. The Titans heated up the bats on Saturday night in an 8-1 win and on Sunday with a 9-1 win. Junior Matt Chapman blasted a 3-run homer in the 3rd inning and the hits kept coming from there. Junior J.D. Davis went 3 for 4 and is now on a 10-game hitting streak. The Titans are back in action tomorrow at home against defending national champions UCLA at 6 p.m. The softball team traveled to Hawaii this weekend in their second series of conference play. The girls won their opener on Friday 5-3 in a 9-inning game, then split a doubleheader on Saturday, losing the first game 6-5 as Lindsey Wilmot knocked in 2 runs on a single in the 7th inning walk-off win for the Rainbow Wahine. The Titans then came back to win the second game 12-3 in 5 innings. 11 of those runs came in the 3rd alone. The Titans come back home to Anderson Field Thursday at 6 p.m. to take on Pac-12 rival UCLA. The college basketball season comes to a close tonight with the NCAA Women's Championship game in Nashville, Tennessee. The undefeated Fighting Irish of Notre Dame will meet the also undefeated Lady Huskies of UConn in one of the most anticipated basketball games of the season. The Lady Irish are 37-0 on the season, but are missing their star senior Natalie Achanwa, who tore her ACL in a regional final game against Baylor last week. UConn comes into the game 39-0 and are trying to win back-to-back national championships. Led by senior Bria Hartley, the Lady Huskies are looking to tie a record of 40-0, which was set by Baylor in 2012. A win would also give UConn head coach Gino Auriemma his 9th national title. The game will be airing at 8:30 p.m. Eastern on ESPN. That's it for this week in sports. Back to you.
A vintage video game gets a reboot, and mark your calendars for a lunar eclipse approaching. This and more in Science and Technology with Cynthia Laliker.
There are many ways to play the classic video game Tetris on a Game Boy, a PC, or even your smartphone. And now on the side of buildings, organizers in Philadelphia call it the world's largest game of Tetris. This version of the game was created using a computer-controlled LED lights on Philadelphia's 29-story Sierra Center. A few lucky individuals were given an arcade-style joystick to control the falling blocks. The event was part of the celebrations marking the 30th anniversary of Tetris. Tetris has sold over 40 million copies worldwide since its release in 1982. NASA's Mars rover Curiosity has reached its next study area and is now scoping out rocks that it will look at over the next few weeks. Shortly after arriving at the location on April 2nd, the Curiosity rover snapped new photos of Mars topping a small hill which NASA scientists have dubbed the Kimberley. The site offers 4 different types of rocks, providing Curiosity with a wealth of material to study. Curiosity found evidence of an ancient stream and lake system at Yellowknife Bay, its previous destination. Studies suggest that the area could have supported microbial life billions of years ago. The Curiosity rover has now driven a total of 3.8 miles since touching down inside the red planet in 2012. Get ready, Skywatchers! The festivities begin tonight. Mars will be exactly opposite of the Sun in a rare cosmic alignment known as an opposition. This event takes place every 2 years. Mark your calendars. Starting April 14th and 15th, Mars will come within 57 million miles of our planet, making it the closest approach since 2008. As a bonus, that very same night, during the early hours of April 15th, North America will have a front row seat to a total lunar eclipse. The full moon will become transformed into a reddish ball for 78 minutes. It will become immersed in the shadow of the Earth. This total lunar eclipse will be the first widely visible one in North America in almost 4 years. So make sure to pack the chairs, have your hot chocolate, and keep warm with your Dodger fleece blankets and drive out to the desert to avoid the city lights. Also, don't forget your binoculars and telescopes. That's all for science and technology. Back to you, Brittany.
When we return from break, we'll show you all the glitz and glamour of an Irvine dance group.
And stay tuned as we remember Mickey Rooney and see what musician is attempting to produce the world's fastest record. More when we come back. To some
Is that horses? Remember me, Mr. Lobster? From last Tuesday? Banana. 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 Here comes the rain. We need a hat. And why do we need a hat? That's right.
When you talk with your child, you build vocabulary, and learning starts long before school does. For more tips, go to bornlearning.org.
Hey!
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly.
9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
All that shimmer and jazz, the Irvine-based Atomic Cherry Bombs get together and have fun while dancing in dress rehearsal. Cynthia Lailaker has the story.
Sparkle's legs dance the night away, ooh la la. Atomic Cherry Bombs are women of all ages who want to have fun while dancing the night away. Atomic Cherry Bomb formed 6 years ago and are a female performance troupe based out of Irvine, California. They are referred as the latest in jazz troupes and inspired by the movements of the 1920s through the 1970s.
It's a women's empowerment thing, it's an outlet for women to be creative.
Not only will these lovely dolls learn chorus line, burlesque, 1940s jazz, and even the grooviest 1960s dance around go-go, ladies, it is time to feel liberated, grab your dancing shoes, and let's shake what our mothers gave us.
Allows me to feel pretty and sexy and confident.
All I Do Is Dream of You is the audience song. Let's check out the Atomic Cherry Bombs while in dress rehearsal. Don't worry, not everyone is a professional. You're there to have fun and learn. The Atomic Cherry Bombs hope to educate the community through performance, classes, vintage culture, and dance.
Express what was taboo at the time, to express being free, to express their sensuality and their sexuality.
If dancing is your cup of tea, then come out and try a new dance trend. It will be fun, a great place to get away, feel sexy and liberated. No need for professional auditions. Atomic Cherry Bomb proves that anyone can come out and dance the night away, just like these ladies. They're having so much fun. Anyone can do it. Reporting from OC News, I'm Cynthia Laliker.
We take a look at the life of Mickey Rooney and what celebrity star is pregnant. Rebecca Penner has your entertainment news.
Mickey Rooney grew up in show business, a product of Hollywood.
We lost a true legend this past weekend. Mickey Rooney died at the age of 93. Michelle Turner of CNN honors the actor.
Mickey Rooney grew up in show business, a product of Hollywood's golden age.
I am that merry wanderer of the night.
By the time he played Puck in the 1935 film A Midsummer Night's Dream, Rooney was already a veteran. He had made his acting debut before he was 2 in his parents' vaudeville act. Vaudeville would serve him well. He would sing, dance, and act his way through hundreds of films spanning 7 decades.
You won't go to the dance, and I don't know why, and I don't want it.
In 1937, his energy and versatility landed him the role of Andy Hardy, a witty character, and one that he would revisit in a series of 15 films. He was a contract player for MGM at the time. Rooney, his stage name, replaced his birth name, Joe Ewell Jr. In 1939, he was awarded a special Oscar for bringing The Spirit of Youth to film. His turn as a tough juvenile delinquent in Men of Boys Town paired him with Spencer Tracy in 1941. What followed was his first Oscar nomination for the feature Babes in Arms, in which he and Judy Garland promised to put on a show.
I'm going to write a show for us and put it on right here in Seaport.
By then, Rooney was tops at the box office, outdrawing Shirley Temple. Moviegoers packed theaters to watch Rooney and a young Elizabeth Taylor play out the sentimental story of National Velvet.
Your pa wants you home for lunch. Lunch?
Rooney was a millionaire in his teens, but suffered financial instability all his life. He was married in his 20s to Ava Gardner, but it didn't last. He would eventually marry 8 times. Still, Rooney was a much honored man for his work. He was nominated for 4 Academy Awards, including 1 for The Black Stallion. In 1983, Rooney was given an honorary Oscar for his lifetime contribution to film. Rooney married 8th wife Jan Chamberlain in 1978. Decades later, they starred and toured together in their own one-man, one-wife show.
I can't give you anything but love.
He stayed busy well into his 80s with small roles in a handful of movies, including Night at the Museum in 2006. But his later years were also marked with sadness.
For years, I suffered silently.
In 2011, an emotional 90-year-old Rooney told a congressional committee that he was verbally and financially abused by his stepson and urged the panel to pass legislation to put a stop to elder abuse. But the love of his life, the constant all of his life, was always his work.
I hope this business learns to love itself a little bit more and remembers the people who opened the doors for all of these youngsters and these people today.
Nichelle Turner, CNN, Hollywood.
The musician Jack White is attempting to produce the world's fastest released record. On April 19th, White will perform and record a single for his upcoming album. The recording will be pressed into 45 seconds. Finished records will be sold to fans at Third Man Records in Nashville during the same day. The record will only be available to the public on this day. Snooki is preparing for a wedding and a baby. The former star of Jersey Shore told People she is expecting her second child this fall with fiancé Gianni. Parents already to the 19-year-old son Lorenzo, Snooki and Gianni are planning to wed later this year. Stormtroopers and hobbits have been spotted in Dubai these past few days at the Middle East Film and Comic-Con. CNN's Leonie Lacani joined them.
If you're a sci-fi or comic book fan, then this is your bag. This is the Middle East annual Comic-Con extravaganza. And in true Dubai style, it really is about extravagance. That's because this year on display is a vintage comic collection worth about $2.5 million. It includes first editions of Batman and Superman, But there is no shortage of characters here, both on and off the pages. Perhaps a Star Trooper milling about, or Snow White's Wicked Queen. And some take the experience to a whole other dimension. You can model yourself after your favorite superheroes and see if you've got the qualities of Iron Man, for instance. This convention's not just about Western comics. The region's local flavor is clearly evident. The Middle Eastern take on Western pop culture icons, Breaking Bad or Joking Around.
We are very crazy. We just like creativity. We just like being crazy. We do the wild things.
But it's not just about being different. This is a business. There's plenty of memorabilia on sale, including these Star Wars helmets ready for auction, decorated by artists from around the world. This helmet, designed by British artist Damien Hirst, starts at $35,000. Sadly, that's a bit out of my budget, but I did manage to get this, a replica of an 80s edition Superman comic, bargain price, $25. Leonie Lakhani, CNN, Dubai.
That's all I have for you in entertainment. I'm Rebecca Penner. Back to you.
That's going to do it here for us at OC News. I'm Brittany Payton.
And I'm Sean Sarabian. We'll see you on the next edition of OC News.